So yeah, as you said, we're down here with the newly refurbished station. Tell us a bit about the developments here and how that's going to help firefighters based here.
Okay, so key to this was that this was a joint police and fire station. The police decided they were going to move out, just their changes. We were offered to buy the site, so we bought the whole of the upstairs as well as currently occupying half of the downstairs. And we decided to turn it into a command training facility, so we used the kind of virtual reality command training facility upstairs. We've been able to give better facilities for the retained crews as well. So all in all, it's a fantastic development, and we think it's state-of-the-art command training upstairs.
So it's part of a bigger project of ongoing work that's taking place in Leicester at the moment. Colville and Birstall was reopened last year. So tell us a bit about how the overall project in terms of refurbishing sites is working.
Okay, we had a number of sites. Birstall was a new station. We moved, closed one down and opened a brand new station. So we moved away from Seist and put in a day crewing plus station. And that's been a bit of our way forward. We've done that with several other stations: Oakham, Colville, Loughborough, Hinckley, I beg your pardon. We also refurbished Loughborough. And we're just about to open a new station in the next probably few months in Castle Donington by East Midlands Airport. And it's all designed to try and reduce costs for whole-time firefighter provision, whilst at the same time maintaining a whole-time provision in those areas where we think it's required.
So one of the big features at Birstall was the overnight accommodation. Can you tell us some of the reason why that was set up and how it's been going so far? Okay,
so that's the same with all of our day crewing plus stations. So what we've done, where it's a whole-time station, we used to have 28 staff to cover 24 hours, 7 days a week. We now, because of the overnight accommodation, can do it with 14 staff. So we reduced the whole-time workforce by 50%, 100%, depending on which way you work it. So it means that the firefighters do 12-hour shifts, 24-hour shifts, and they stay on the station permanently throughout that period other than calls or when they're on out duties. So they have to have good sleeping accommodation, a bit like ensuite travel lodge rooms. They can overnight, subject to agreement, bring their families in to see them or stay overnight with them, but they are on call all the time. So it's a win-win. We get a whole-time fire station at approximately £380,000 a year less than normally. The firefighters get a slight increase in their salary, and the community, which is most important, get a full-time fire station, which we couldn't probably have afforded before.
It sounds like a really good development. I mean, those kind of cost-saving innovations were a key part of the night review in terms of making smarter use of the firefighters in your command. How much did his recommendations prompt your thinking, or was that something that was already in place?
It was something that was already in place, to be honest. It was a model we've used, we followed from around the country. Lancashire have done it for a while, Cheshire, but we based ours on the Lancashire model with a slight few differences. So it was all in train a long time before the night review came to be.
Coming back to this station specifically, you said it was going to be a command training base. What's some of the technology that you brought in? How do you feel that can help advance firefighter thought processes in a time where they're likely to be tackling less actual fires?
Well, that's absolutely key, and what we do here is not just command training, but we also do re-accreditation of command skills. So we insist that every command officer goes through the training, re-accreditation, so we can be sure that they're fit for the role they're fulfilling. And of course, because we don't get the incidents, we do operational monitoring, where a more senior officer monitors their performance on the incident ground. But of course, we don't get that many incidents, so this is an ideal way of practicing. It's also a safe environment. If they get it wrong, we can start again. So it's a fantastic facility, and as I say, state of the art.
And finally, how do you feel this and other stations you already referenced in terms of being open 24 hours, they provide a better service to the community? How do you think that kind of setup affects the overall role of the firefighter in the way that they work with the community and maybe with other services as well? I know police have moved out of here, but...
Well, the police have still maintained an office there, so we still work with them. In fact, I came out here Thursday and bumped into three of their officers. So we still see them a lot. In terms of being on site 24 hours a day, retained duty system on call is the classic, isn't it? Because they live, work in the community, both in their other roles and in this role. And also Day Crew Plus is a bit of an extension of that, so we can have firefighters that in their station 4 or 5 days continuously. Then they're away, but it gives the opportunity to really embed themselves with the communities they're working in. Best example I can give of that is the open day that we held at Birstall Fire Station. It hasn't got a huge residential population directly around it. It's got some absolute massive turnout because it was all part of the community.